Chosen One, let me tell you something that you may have always felt but never managed to explain clearly. Your voice is not ordinary. It carries a silent strength, a presence that is not learned. It is born with. And if you are here now, it is because this truth is ready to emerge from within you. Have you noticed that even in silence, your presence already transforms the environment? That people calm down just by hearing you? That you say little, but it resonates deeply? This is not chance. This is part of the mission you carry. And today I want to show you what is hidden behind your voice. The world has always tried to silence the chosen ones. Because when you speak, the spiritual moves. Your voice transcends the surface. It is not limited to sound. It carries meaning, healing, revelation. And that is why many people feel exposed, touched, or transformed when you speak, even if you do not say anything great. My name is George, and I am here to walk with you on this journey of recognition. Today, you will understand the 5 hidden powers that reside in your voice. Each one has a purpose, and together, they reveal why your speech impacts the world around you so much. If this message is stirring something inside you, click the follow button. This channel is a refuge for those who carry a calling. Here, you will no longer doubt what God has placed inside you. Let's go together. Your voice did not come to be. The tone of your voice is more than sound. It carries your intention, your truth, and your spiritual energy. When you speak, people do not just hear words, they feel. You may say, "It's all right," but if your soul is in conflict, your tone reveals it. This is how the Chosen One conveys what many try to hide. Have you noticed that when you speak, some people immediately calm down? This is not a coincidence. Your tone has the power to align emotions, to bring security where there was doubt. It's as if your frequency adjusts the environment. You do not impose, you touch. And this is why your voice has this direct effect on people's hearts. The tone is an expression of your soul. Chosen ones speak with a presence that goes beyond the physical. Your voice enters where ordinary words cannot reach. It crosses resistances, touches internal layers, and in many cases, begins healing processes just by the way it sounds. It's not about technique, but about inner truth. Sometimes, it is just the way you say good morning that changes someone's day. It is not the content of the phrase, but the peace embedded in the sound. This comes from your essence. The tone of the Chosen One is firm when necessary, but never aggressive. It is gentle when it needs to be welcoming, but never passive. It carries spiritual wisdom. Those who live in a rush do not always notice, but your tone has the power to cut through the noise of the world. You speak, and suddenly there is silence. There is listening. There is openness. This happens because your sound does not compete. It resonates. The tone of your voice organizes. It's as if it says, "The truth has arrived, and it is safe." This impact does not come from vocal strength, but from alignment with what you carry within. When your speech comes from the spirit, it becomes a channel. It conveys direction, courage, comfort. It lifts up those who are down. Even if you say few words, their vibration remains. Chosen One, your tone leaves marks wherever it goes. Perhaps you have already noticed that even your silence has weight. It is because your energy is present even when you do not speak. Now imagine when you speak with clarity, with divine connection. Your tone becomes a bridge. It connects the invisible to the visible. It connects people with something they feel but cannot explain. Many still do not understand why they feel different after a conversation with you. It was not the information that changed everything. It was the tone. The way you communicated awakened something in the other person. Because when a chosen one speaks, They do not repeat what they heard. They convey what they live, and that is rare. Your tone is your spiritual signature. It is through it that you calm troubled hearts, bring discernment to those who are confused, and revive the faith of those who no longer see an exit. All of this because the sound of your voice carries the remembrance of the truth, a truth that does not need to shout to be heard. So keep this in mind. Never underestimate the impact of your tone. It is not just how you speak, but what vibrates behind the speech. The more aligned you are with your mission, the clearer and more transformative this tone will be. And remember, chosen one, your voice has a destination. Use it with intention. It was made to awaken. When you speak, you are not just using words. You are transmitting a frequency. This frequency travels through the air, through silence, and through the heart of those who listen. It is like a spiritual wave that touches the core of another. And this vibration is not theoretical. It is perceived deeply, even though it cannot be seen. Imagine that your voice is an instrument tuned by God. The way you pronounce each syllable, the intonation you choose to speak with, the rhythm of your pauses. All of this composes an energetic vibration. When this energy is aligned with the truth of who you are, it begins to resonate in those who hear it, generating healing, emotional rescue, or spiritual strengthening. A vibration filled with faith helps to reinforce confidence in the heart of others. A vibration filled with lightness calms, warms, and protects. You may say simple words, but if those words are infused with a vibration of healing, they become a balm for those who listen. And those who feel this energy understand that it is something special. You do not need formal training or vocal technique. What matters is that your voice is connected to your spirit. When your truth and intentions come from the center of your being, your vibration carries something that cannot be imitated. This is why your voice has the potential to transform. It mixes frequency and intention, creating something unique. There are people who feel calmed by your voice even when you are sad, because they pick up on the essence that you maintain, which is still firm. This shows how your vibration is not just a reflection of your emotional state. It is a spiritual character. And this character can heal memories, reframing feelings, restoring faith. Remember, not everyone who speaks the loudest has the advantage. In many cases, it is the right vibration, the adjusted frequency that brings results. Those who listen do not need to know what you are saying. They just need to feel safe, welcomed, and understood. And this happens because your voice vibrates with truth. Have you noticed that there are conversations that, even if short, seem to stay with you all day? This happens when your vibration works together with your words. You touch the emotional field of those who listen, and something remains. This quality does not depend on your charisma, your appearance, or your ideas. It comes from spiritual frequency. Your steady speech can protect. In times of crisis, people instinctively cuddle up to your voice, as if they find a safe harbor there. This happens because your vibration imposes order. It organizes the internal chaos of the other. The voice of a chosen one has this function: to bring lightness where there is pain, to bring clarity where there is confusion. When you allow your spirit to truly express itself through your voice, your speech becomes a tool of empowerment. Each word is dressed with energy of life, courage, faith. And those who listen understand without needing an explanation. They just feel, and that is enough to activate an internal movement. Do not allow yourself to be belittled, nor underestimate the impact that the vibration of your voice can cause. You can initiate change with short phrases devoid of technique, but filled with soul. Because what makes a difference is not what you say. It is what vibrates when you speak. Chosen one, your voice resonates beyond what your ears hear. It reaches places that your hands can never touch, and heals fields that your eyes may not see. When your vibration is aligned with your mission, it does not just communicate, it transforms. And silently, it changes lives. Your voice is not ordinary. It is not just sound coming from the mouth. It is an expression of the soul. When you speak with truth, with a clear intention, something inside you moves, and that moves those who are listening. This is the first sign that your voice is spiritually charged. It carries essence. Not everyone feels this, but those who do will never forget it. It does not matter if you say little or speak a lot. When your speech comes from the spirit, it reaches layers that ordinary words do not touch. It's as if your voice makes a direct journey to the heart of the listener. Being spiritually charged does not mean being mystical or performative. It means being sincere. It means being aligned with your mission, with the truth that God placed inside you. And when that happens, even silence gains power. Your energy speaks, even when your mouth is silent. Your voice becomes a channel between heaven and earth. You do not speak merely with knowledge, you speak with presence, and that transforms the atmosphere. People feel different around you because your spiritual energy is acting, even when you do not perceive it. Those who speak with truth do not need to shout. The world hears those who speak with the right spirit. And you, chosen one, carry that spirit. Your speech does not seek to convince, it seeks to connect. It is not about persuasion, it is about communion. It is about touching the soul and reminding others of who they are. The spiritual charge of your voice strengthens when you live in alignment with the purpose given to you. The more you surrender, the clearer and more powerful your sound becomes. It is not about volume. It is about vibration. It is about presence. It is about coherence between what you live and what you say. People who live in disorder do not sustain this vibration. They speak a lot but do not touch anyone. You, on the other hand, often touch with a glance, a phrase, a simple word. Because your voice carries what others only try to imitate: spiritual essence. This type of voice is not learned in a course. It is not acquired through technique. It is born with you, but only reveals itself when you accept who you are. When you stop molding yourself to the world and start to live as heaven designed you. Authenticity is the key that unlocks this power. To be true is not to be perfect. It is to be whole. It is to not hide the scars, but to use them as a source of wisdom. When you speak from that place, the world listens differently. The vibration changes, the environment changes, and that chosen one is your mark. Those who hear you do not just remember the words, they remember the feeling. They remember the peace, the strength, the clarity. Because what marked them was not the sound, it was the spiritual presence that came with it. This is rare. And it is exactly this that makes you someone with a voice loaded with purpose. Do not silence that voice. Do not diminish that gift. Your speech is a beacon amidst the confusion. Use it wisely. Because what comes out of your mouth does not end in the air. It continues to act on the soul of those who listened. This is the voice of a chosen one, and the world needs to hear it. Some people need to raise their voices to be heard. You don't. The calm tone, the way you speak, the calm you transmit, all of this has a direct effect on the people around you. Your voice doesn't shout, it touches. It doesn't demand attention, but naturally calms those nearby. This is spiritual. When the environment is heavy, tense, charged, your presence already changes the energy. But it is when you begin to speak that things really align. The words come out balanced. They organize chaos, not with technical explanations, but with the peace they carry. Your voice has a type of authority that calms, Many times you don't even notice. You speak naturally in your own way, with simplicity. And out of nowhere someone tells you, "Wow, I needed to hear that." Or even, "Just by listening to you, I felt better." This doesn't happen by chance. Your voice has a spiritual function. It is an instrument of healing. This gift doesn't come from techniques or ready-made speeches. It comes from your connection to the higher. When you speak with a heart aligned with the divine, your words carry more than sound. They carry direction. They remind people that there is hope, that even in pain, there is a safe place. Your speech doesn't need to be rehearsed. It needs to be sincere. When what comes out of your mouth reflects what is aligned in your spirit, the impact is immediate. The other person's heart recognizes the truth. And it is this that generates relief, rest, clarity. It's as if the inner storm finally stops. You have this power, chosen one. And not because you forced it, but because you were shaped. The pain you faced taught you to have compassion. The silence that once inhabited your soul taught you to listen deeply. And now, when you speak, it's as if each word is filled with peace. Even amidst chaos, when everyone around is lost, you manage to maintain calm. And that calm spreads. Your voice becomes a reference point. It's like a lighthouse on a dark night. It doesn't need to make noise. It just needs to be lit. And by being lit, it guides and protects. How many times have you been the one who brought peace to a discussion? The one who managed to make everyone take a deep breath and rethink what they were saying? This is part of your mission. You are not just anyone. Your voice was designed to bring healing where there is a wound and understanding where there is confusion. Even when you don't say anything but are present, people feel relief. And when you decide to open your mouth, it's as if the environment is purified. The fear goes away, the crying transforms into hope, and the anxiety gives way to serenity. This is a spiritual gift. Your voice is not only for comforting, it is to reposition. It comforts, yes, but it also realigns. When you speak with truth, even harsh words have a healing effect. Because your intention is clean, your energy is light. And this makes all the difference. You do not hurt. You correct with love. You will not always be understood. Not everyone will value the power that comes from your mouth. But don't get discouraged. Keep using your voice as an instrument of peace. Because there are people who need exactly that. Someone who speaks with heaven in their heart and care in their voice. Have you ever felt someone get emotional about something you said, even if it was a simple sentence? This happens because your voice reaches where ordinary words do not. It ignites memories, releases stored tears, and reconnects hearts with their own essence. Your voice does not just speak, it awakens. Each tone, each breath, carries layers of meaning that touch the unconscious of those who listen. You may not even notice, but your voice activates old sensations, removes layers of pain, and brings to the surface something that was hidden. And even without intention, you perform care in the hearts of others. This power exists not because you are eloquent, but because you are true. Those who have this voice speak with spiritual authority, even if their speech is gentle. They touch delicately, but reach deeply. Your voice can open internal doors that even therapy cannot unlock, because it vibrates at the frequency of the soul. Your words may be short and direct, but their echo remains in hearts. A well-placed pause, a silence between sentences. All of this serves as an emotional bridge. A chosen one does not need to dramatize. They need to be real. And this authenticity allows the voice to reach places where logic does not arrive. How many times have you heard someone say that their eyes filled with tears from your speech, This is not weakness. It is sensitivity released. It is internal healing. It is transformation happening in silence. And someone, in those moments, allows themselves to feel. And those who feel deeply never forget that sound. Your voice can revive abandoned dreams. It can bring courage where there was fear. It can remind someone of their worth, even if that person has forgotten. Because your sound carries the energy of divine reconnection. Your speech revitalizes the weary spirit, rekindles the extinguished faith, rescues the forgotten hope. The emotion awakened by your speech is not just emotional. It is spiritual. It connects the other to something greater. You may not always know the immediate impact, but I guarantee each emotion touched generates a seed. And a seed planted in the fertile soil of the heart blooms over time, with clarity and new paths. You can use the simplest words or even repeat phrases that have already been said 1,000 times. But if your voice is aligned with your spirit, it will touch deeply. Because the true impact of speech is not in the intellectual content, but in the energy that accompanies it. This is what the chosen one carries in their voice. Living truth. What comes out of your mouth has a different weight. Not because of the volume or the structure of the sentence, but because your speech carries frequency. And frequency speaks directly to the heart. People who are emotionally closed open up near you without understanding why. It is not rational, it is spiritual. It is your vibrational field touching theirs. This connection is something that cannot be taught, nor can it be faked. When a chosen one speaks, there is a respectful silence around. It is not fear, it is reverence. It is as if something deeper is being activated within those who listen. And this happens because you are speaking to the soul, not just to the ears of the people. There are moments when you don't even need to say much. A short sentence, a subtle comment, and suddenly someone gets emotional. This is common for those who carry the gift of spiritual frequency. Your words do not just inform, they unlock, they activate, and many times they heal. All of this without you realizing the depth of what you are doing. You do not need to force impact. You do not need to use difficult words or elaborate speeches, because what really transforms is not what is said, but what is transmitted. And your spirit transmits light, security, and love. Even if the message is firm, it carries a purity that dissolves resistances. Those who have spiritual ears can feel you from afar. Your voice carries a seed that becomes planted inside those who listen. Even days later, that person is still thinking about what you said. Not because your speech was technically perfect, but because the energy that came out of you was true. It was aligned with something higher. So do not underestimate your words, even when you think you have not been heard. You were, just in the spirit. The effect of your speech is often invisible at the moment, but it acts at the right time when the person is ready. And this is one of the greatest signs that your voice is a divine instrument. The intention behind your words is what defines their impact. When you speak with love, with faith, with truth, everything changes. Do not try to copy how others speak. Your essence is what makes your voice powerful. It is not about style, it is about spiritual frequency. Chosen one, perhaps you have not yet realized. But there is something in your voice that cannot be explained just by logic. It is as if your words carry a sacred weight. And even when you say something simple, it touches the other in a way that they themselves do not understand. This is a sign. It is a gift. From an early age, you notice that people listen to you differently. Sometimes they fall silent. Sometimes they cry. Some even pull away because they are not ready to feel what you carry. Your voice awakens, confronts, and at the same time heals. because it comes from a higher place. It comes from your connection with the divine. When you speak, the environment changes. Not because you want to impress, but because your energy speaks along with you. Your presence is added to your words, and this combination is what transforms. Sometimes you don't even know that you are healing someone, but you are. Because the power of your voice is not in what is heard, it is in what is felt. This gift is not meant to be kept. It is meant to be used. To comfort those who suffer, to calm those who are at war, to awaken those who are asleep inside. Your voice is a bridge between what is above and those who are lost down here. When you express yourself with truth, you release light. And this light has a destination. So start using this power with intention. Do not fear taking a stand. When it is necessary to speak, speak with firmness and lightness. When it is necessary to be silent, silence wisely. But never doubt the strength that you carry in your voice, because it was made to touch the invisible. If this message spoke to you, comment here. My voice has purpose, and follow this channel. Together, we will continue activating the gifts of the chosen ones. With faith, George, your brother on the spiritual journey.